We are killing ourselves. Slowly but surely, we are poisoning our bodies, leading to cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. And the worst part is, the government and dietitians are encouraging it. Even many of us who think we are putting good fuel into our bodies are actually making poor nutritional choices. The Paleolithic diet is superior to the traditional food pyramid and offers a bounty of health benefits. 36% of American adults are obese. 41% of all people will be diagnosed with some form of cancer sometime during their life. Approximately 26 million Americans have diabetes. Heart disease kills one American every 34 seconds. If those stats don't scare you, I don't know what will. And what is the big common denominator between all of those? Diet. Obviously, there are many other factors involved, such as genetics, lifestyle, and environment, but diet is undeniably a huge part and is also very much in our control. Whatever we are doing now isn't working. There shouldn't be this much preventable death and disease in America. Before I talk about Paleolithic or paleo diet versus conventional wisdom, let me say that you should ignore the word diet. Diets are short-term changes to eating, and they don't work. You need to think of it as permanent lifestyle modifications instead of dieting. Having said that, here is the basis to the paleo or primal diet. It is based on the theory that our bodies are best adapted to and healthiest consuming what our hunter-gatherer ancestors have ate throughout history. These foods include lean meats, seafood, vegetables, fruits, and nuts. It doesn't include things like processed foods, sugars, dairies, legumes, and grains, including whole grains. And these are a couple of the food pyramids for the paleo, and I'll pass them around in a couple of the pyramids for the normal government that they give out.
Arts and years.
Now you're probably thinking, but I thought milk and beans and whole grains are like the best foods for you. Well, let's look at them. First off, whole grains have less vitamins and minerals and antioxidants as fruits and vegetables. They're not even close. Whole grains also have nasty things like lectins, gluten, and phytates, which are an anti-nutrient that basically cancels out some of the healthy minerals you eat. The milk we drink is loaded with hormones and antibiotics, and cow's milk is really for baby cows, not humans. As for calcium needs, vegetables like broccoli and leafy greens are just as good, if not better, sources. Many Asian countries consume very low amounts of dairy and yet have much lower rates of osteoporosis and fractures than us. Inflammation is believed by some to be the root of all diseases, and agreed by everyone to be a bad thing. One of the main things that reduces inflammation in our bodies is something called omega-3 fatty acids. In order to reduce inflammation, you want to have a balance of healthy omega-3 fatty acids and omega-6 fatty acids. The ideal ratio is said to be between 1:1 and 4:1 omega-6s to omega-3s. The typical American diet, however, has between 14 and 25:1 6s to 3s. Japan has the best ratio of any country with a ratio of 4:1. Guess what country also has the world's highest life expectancy? That's right, Japan, even with an incredibly high rate of cigarette smoking. The best way to increase omega-3s in your diet is with fish, especially fatty fish like salmon. Walnuts and flax seeds are also good sources, but don't contain quite as high of quality omega-3s. Since the paleo diet is high in meat and fat, another question is, what about my cholesterol? Dr. Malcolm Kendrick, author of the Great Cholesterol Con, believes it is a travesty of science that cholesterol hypothesis remains popular, despite 50 years of studies disproving it. In the book, he quotes perhaps the two most famous pioneers in the history of cardiovascular disease research, Dr. Ansel Keys and Dr. William Castelli. Dr. Keys says there's no connection whatsoever between cholesterol in food and cholesterol in blood, and we've known that all along. Cholesterol in diet doesn't matter at all. Dr. Castelli was the director of the Framingham study, the most influential, longest running, and most often quoted study in heart disease research. He said the data showed that the more saturated fat one ate, the more cholesterol one ate, and the more calories one ate, the lower people's serum cholesterol was. Thessalonians 5:21, the Bible says to test everything. Don't blindly believe research from drug companies and what you see on Lipitor commercials. The benefits of adapting a more natural, primal type diet go beyond increasing your life expectancy and lowering disease risk. Imagine having more energy, clearer skin, sleeping better, and being leaner. Interested now? There are all kinds of gimmicks and products out there promising these things, and everyone is always looking for a quick fix in pill form. But these things aren't These aren't things that are meant or able to be fixed by magical concoctions. They are obtained by eating natural foods and being physically active. That's it. Just those two things could drastically improve your life both now and well into your future. So what's stopping you? Now, having said all this, I don't think that the takeaway message should be that you have to give up all the foods you're currently eating and enjoy and go all in on the paleo bandwagon. My goal is to open your eyes to much of the grain and dairy marketing that brainwashes us. I myself still eat oatmeal and whole milk and stuff like that on a daily basis, but I try to make the bulk of my diet fruits, veggies, lean meats, eggs, and nuts. My most simple advice is to try to eat protein and fiber. If you are focusing on trying to eat those two things, you'll probably be eating pretty healthy. Protein and fiber also help keep you feeling full. You kind of have to play around with it and see what works for you and how your own body feels eating different things. You are in control of your own health. Take a look at your own diet and see what needs to be changed. And the next time someone is praising grains, ask them what that grain has compared to a vegetable.
Ready to read?